Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just going back to what Simon was asking about the Spurs game, do you worry that basically we could end up in a situation where broadcasters are almost deciding who ends up in the top four?
I don't want to take it there. We have to play the game, and we are responsible to winning the matches or not winning and performing. What we want is, first of all, protect the players and have the players in the best possible conditions if we can. If we cannot do it, that's fine. We've done it. We've been through COVID, and we have to play a huge amount of games. There wasn't a choice there, so we had to do it. If there is a choice, try to do it. So at the end, this is a business, and it's an entertainment business, and we want to get the players in the best possible condition to perform.
What you said there actually about entertainment business, there's a balance, isn't there, in every sport between sporting integrity and the TV spectacle. And we saw that in Formula One, didn't we, at the end of that season? Do you think football has to tread that line a bit better?
Sometimes I don't know if it can be better, and I get all the points and how everybody tries to explain the situations. It's that it cannot affect one club. That's what I'm saying. If there are more involved, I think we have to share that responsibility and try to do it with equity. So the integrity of the competition is always there.
Just moving on a bit. I think you said in an interview recently that in the summer you want to be a bit more flexible in recruitment. I mean, we saw what you did last summer, getting a lot of really good young guys in. Is the next level now going to be like maybe the addition of players that, however old they are a bit more experienced at the top level?
Well, there are certain things that we have to achieve in the summer, that they are not always especially age-related, but things that we want to add to the squad. And there are other topics that are very important, and we have to find the right piece. And the importance of the priority when we find that player, maybe the top priority won't be the age in a position. Maybe in another one, yes. So we will have to get that right.
Was the game the other night against Liverpool quite a good example of that? Because they've been able to get players in, even as like squad players who have got that history. Even someone like Diaz, for example, got 30 caps for Colombia, got a title with Porto already. He's got a bit of that winning experience. Just one random example. Is that the kind of thing you mean, that you want to get that depth of experience and top level quality?
That could be one good example, depending if you want to have more winners in the team that can now take that drive, that they have the experience to do that, and they can be contagious to the rest of the team. That's a really good thing to have.
Just a couple more, if that's okay. Going back to the summer, people were looking at clubs like Villa, obviously, who wanted to buy Emil for a while, and Leicester, and they were saying they were coming for you and overtake you and stuff like that. Now, I'm not asking you to comment about what they've done or are doing, but we look at the table now, it's very, very different for whatever reason. Do you think you were written off too soon back then?
Sorry, can you?
Sorry, do you think that you were written off too soon in the summer, given that?
I think every club wants the ambition always to improve and be at the top level, and that's something that has been very, very good for the Premier League, because it's only increased the level of it, and I don't think it's going to be different next summer. They're going to show big ambition, a lot of clubs to try to be with the top teams.
And just one on the England players, which was mentioned, obviously 4 players, and I think the last time 4 Arsenal players got on the pitch together in an England game was, I think, November 2014. And how important is it to your vision of the club's success that you've got that core of England internationals? What difference does it make?
Well, we should have a core of English players, that's for sure. And if those players are coming through our academy, even better. But I think it's something that has to be related to the tradition of the history of the club. I think it's very important to understand and protect as well all the values of the club. And we are there. And if they can play for England, then it's great.
On that, I mean, you talk about those 4 England guys. They all seem, I mean, we don't really speak to them much, but they all seem very approachable, down-to-earth, decent guys. And it's almost like, I don't know if it's become a policy, because, I mean, New Zealand Rugby Club famously had this policy of no dickheads, where no one was allowed to pick up special. Is it something that you sort of try to instill, that you want characters who don't think they're special and sort of fit into the group?
I cannot use the word that you use, but I agree with you on that. And within that, I think you need different characters. You don't want just a team that is all the same. You need players that can express their feelings in different ways, that react in different ways, but they have to have certain commonalities and the respect and the passion and the integrity and the values that we want at the club. That's for sure. And if you do that, I think it's much easier to be stable and perform at the highest level. And I think those 4 examples that you just gave me, if they have some commonalities, is in their character, and they are very different, but they are all really humble, they're approachable, they love what they do, they have big commitment to their profession every single day, and their focus in their life is football. And when that happens, then it's much easier to do, because your head is always there. How can I get better?
When you look at your recruitment, is that something you specifically look for? When you look at the character and think, well, he thinks he's a bit special, maybe we don't want him.
But sometimes you need characters that can mold other characters as well, and thinking about how the squad is going to interact between them as well, and how they're going to connect on the pitch. It's something that, in my opinion, is important as well.
And just briefly, looking at the game the other night at Liverpool, probably the only difference between the two teams was the finishing. When you look at your squad, you don't have really a 20-goal season finisher at the moment. Is that going to be priority for the summer, to get someone?
To be with the top teams in this country, you need to score 90 to 100 goals at least. So somehow you need those goals in the team. Don't tell me how, but you need them, and they have to come across. And then that contribution, how it's done and how possible that is to happen. You have to find the right pieces to do that, but that's a non-negotiable if you want to be there, that's for sure.
But getting someone who can score that many isn't easy, is it? And they're the most expensive and most in-demand players. Anyone who can score 20 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, but if you look at the history of the football teams, they always have that. If you look at the Barcelona, won 6 titles between 3 players, they score 100 goals for 3 years. So if you have that, if you don't have that, then you need to have 30 clean sheets. The last 11 games, we can score 11 goals and concede 0. We're going to win 11 games. Or we can score 35 and concede 17. Still, we're going to have 33 points, but in a very different way.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I can see your headline, Mark.